Hello, and welcome to the Shrewdness. I'm Prue,
Yes.
Dex, and Chiz joining me as usual. Welcome to the show, everybody. Today's episode, we're going to talk a lot about the upcoming NFL draft. And we've got some shrewd insights as to maybe how this year's draft is going to affect your Guillotine fantasy football leagues in this upcoming fall. So we're going to go through a bunch of the projected draft picks. We'll get into a full draft analysis next week. But tonight we're going to go through our projections, some of the mock drafts that many of you have probably seen, and our shrewd takes on who's going to take what and how you should be thinking about your upcoming
drafts. I'll tell you the
drafts.
right things, the real stuff.
The Guillotine fantasy football focus of the draft, which nobody's been talking about.
That's
Not
right.
one person. You had to find our podcast to give this to you.
We're the ones.
You found the right spot because we are Guillotine fantasy football. That's what we do.
Right.
That's our wheelhouse. So, Chiz, let's lead us off. What's the
Yeah,
draft looking like?
so
what
this is
players
awesome.
Are we going to be tempted to draft early?
Well, first, let's set the scene here, guys. So, it's Guillotine, and this is not a traditional. They're not dynasty leagues. We're not playing dynasty here, right? This is not a traditional redraft. This is a weekly execution chamber. That's what Guillotine is. Weekly.
Russian
That's fun.
roulette.
Where the floor keeps you alive and the ceiling finishes the job, right? That's what it's about. So, rookies. We're going to be talking about rookies. I got one word for rookies. Dangerous. Dangerous, but also essential. If you get the right ones, the right time, in the right situations,
Call them Brock Bowers.
you can pull off some amazing things, right? So as we go into this, remember, in Guillotine formats, early season consistency is more valuable than theoretical upside. Okay?
Yeah.
So that means rookies only matter if they're going to have immediate volume, right? They're going to be getting in the game and getting a ton of touches, or if they can become waiver wire monsters later on when teams get chopped. So that's kind of how you're thinking about them. So this is about timing and what you would see traditionally. If you look at fantasy traditionally, shows that rookie running backs provide the fastest return for investment, right? So they're the ones that are going to get the load out of the gates, most likely. They're going to get the touches if they're in the right scenario. Well,
Like
don't
Ashton
the Raiders.
Genty. He
Like
was very
Ashton
helpful
Genty.
last year for 4 weeks out of the season.
for 4 weeks out of the
And
season.
not so much in the early stages when everybody kept getting cut with him.
Whereas wide receivers and tight ends are more they're more likely second half plays when they start getting reps, they start getting the system, and if you got room to stash on your bench, maybe, but more than likely you're waiting for them to get cut.
Yep.
By some other team, because don't be the guy that goes all in on the guy who's this guy may be a breakout wide receiver this year, and then you put all your eggs in that basket, and he's got 2 targets after week 1, he's benched
20.
after week 3, and then you're oh my god, what just happened, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of context as we go into this. Think about it. This is about the right person on the right team at the right time in your draft. Okay, so we're going to look at kind of tiers of players. When you look at this
These are
rookie
the
draft,
shiny new toys. The shiny
look
new
at,
toys
you
of
look
next
at this
year.
draft, and we talked about it in the Patreon, and this is not a super offensive heavy draft, especially the skill position. So there's not going to be a ton of folks for us to break down. We are going to give you the insight into them. It's a super heavy defensive draft, which that's fun if you're just a football fan, but from a Guillotine fantasy standpoint, not a ton of skill positions. So the tiers are going to be pretty small here, but let's talk about tier 1. Okay, let's start at the very top, guys. This is if this person lands on the right team, they're the Guillotine cheat code for you.
Yes,
right?
good things are going to happen.
And you're strike hot.
I'm with you.
I want to ask you guys, do you see anybody in this tier this year? Dex.
One. There's only one, and it depends on the team he goes to. But Jeremiah Love,
I agree,
is the talent and the skills to be good anywhere, frankly.
Right.
But man, there's some that are better than others. So there's a mock draft that has him going to the Giants.
Woo!
Cam Scadaboo's there. He was really good last year and a big part of that team. Is he going to be good as a split back? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, can those systems work? Yeah, look at the Lions. They sure made it work with
Giants
Gibbs and
back in
Montgomery.
the day, Thunder and Lightning. Remember when they
That's
had
true. Yeah, Tiki Barber and Ron
Tiki
Dane.
Yeah.
So can it work? It sure can, but that's not really what you want to go in with your rookie. You want kind of like all the load. So Ashton Genty
Right.
was a good situation kind of last year, except he had no offensive line, terrible quarterback play, wideouts not doing anything, in a crappy defense. So it didn't work out because they're behind all the time. You don't run. So Jeremiah Love is the one guy I think in the right situation, depending on where he goes on Thursday night, could be a really good one. What do you guys think?
I think I'm with you. I think Jeremiah Love is certainly near the top, if not the top of the list. For me, I think Carnell Tate is also worth talking about.
Yeah, we'll talk about him too.
Yep, I think I've seen a couple mock drafts where he's projected to go maybe to the Giants.
Yeah.
Instead of Jeremiah Love, or with Jeremiah Love. The
Right.
Giants have 2 early picks.
Because they got 5 and 10. Yeah.
So that would be a catastrophic fail by the rest of the league if the Giants happen to snag both those guys somehow. But if they get one or the other, I think either one would be a great fit. They've got youth on the offensive side.
Yeah, Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, you've got talent.
Yeah.
Right. And Scadaboo, assuming
Really
he comes
talent.
back healthy and all that, you got some weapons there. And adding another rookie in there, I don't think hurts your situation.
No.
You got a bunch of guys learning together and all that. So
Could grow up and be fierce together.
I know.
I think Love or Tate on the Giants, either one would significantly help their offense.
Yeah, I agree. I think Love is where they're saying his likely landing spots right now are Titans or Commanders. Titans at 4, I think. Commanders is like 7 or
7.
8. Those are the ones that have the biggest need for running back right now. If he goes to either of those, he's instantly going to be a 15-plus touch guy right out of the gate. He's going to be a week 1 floor play, which is great because that's what you're looking for. Now, here's the deal, though. If you're going to get him, I think he's going to be if he goes to one of those places, he's going to be a top 10 pick in your Guillotine draft.
Yeah.
So just know, you're going to have to go in with him because he's probably going to go in that top 10. I don't think there's going to be many running backs that are going to go above him. He's a great floor, and he's got a high ceiling, too. He's a rare combo from that standpoint. So somebody's going to jump early.
I started to say, timeout. We got a lot of Ashton Genty owners
I
from last
know.
year that are going to have a tough time pulling that trigger.
Short seasons last year. They didn't even get to October.
That's the
Right.
problem because he's going to be on a team that's not great, and they're going to ride him. And so it's like if you get the Ashton Genty effect where the offensive line is me, Prue, and Dex, guess what?
Not a lot of holes, man.
I don't care how good he is.
Yeah.
He's not going to get a lot of points for you. So, but if he goes with one of those two, he is a super exciting pick, and he could even be, he's draftable in Guillotine early, which is really rare for a rookie. So,
Yeah, he's probably the only rookie this year as opposed to last year. Last year was tons of rookies. Emeka Egbuka to go along with Tedrow McMillan. Those were guys that were going early last year in the first 2 rounds.
Right.
I don't know if I see any of the wideouts that tempt me enough in this year's rookie class that would go in the top 2 round in Guillotine. That's going 36 picks deep. I got it. But I still don't see. I don't know. I guess we have to see where they end up.
I think you're right, though. I've got two in my tier 2. I got 2 wide receivers. That's it. Okay, I don't have any running backs, quarterbacks. I have in my tier 2 of all the rookies. I've got Carnell Tate per Peru, wide receiver Ohio State. A lot of people saying he's either going to go Cardinals, Giants, or Patriots. Those are 3 that I'm seeing a lot of. And then
Patriots would be nice.
Patriots would be nice, but and then Jordan Tyson, who's a wide receiver out of Arizona State.
Yep.
He might actually have the highest ceiling of everybody, but I don't think he's going to get the targets early that Carnell Tate's going to get. I think of all the wide receivers, Carnell Tate's going to get the most targets the quickest, right?
Probably, depending on the team he goes to.
Right? Depending on this. So he's kind of like professionally boring, I would say.
Yeah.
From a guillotine standpoint, that's good because
Yeah.
he's going to be like a very solid dude who immediately gets, wherever he goes, he's immediately going to get second on the team in targets, probably.
Yeah.
So, he's probably going to have one guy that's a little alpha above him, and then he's going to get second. He's going to have a chance to be one, pretty quick in the season.
The other thing, if you have to pick a college program that produces elite receivers, look no further than Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I mean,
Totally.
just a long laundry list of excellent freaking players all come from Ohio State. So
That's right.
Carnell Tate is safe just from program management. I mean, if you know where
Totally.
he's coming from, they play a pro style
Pedigree.
offense that hits the ground running.
He's
so that's
clean. He runs great routes. So I think he's going to go mid to late first round in guillotine, and it's a little scary. But I think somebody's going to go mid to late first. Like, I'm just telling you what I think's going to happen because I know how people get froggy about rookies and guillotine. They get super excited about potential.
Those top 15 or so rookies, right? They're looking for the 3 or 4 offensive players in there.
That's right.
Saying, oh, those guys have, immediate impact and whatever. And that's true if they go to the right spot, to Dex's point.
Yes.
You got to have the right situation.
About these rookies is it always comes down to you're looking at some grizzled, hairy old vet that looks like he stepped in gum, or the shiny new toy. But the grizzled old vet that stepped in gum has a role, a defined role. And he's getting paid to be that team's number 1 red zone receiver, whatever it might be. Even if it's not the greatest offense of all time, whereas the shiny new toy hasn't proven himself to do anything yet. And so, but oh my gosh, he could be great. Right. That's where everybody always goes, shiny new toy. And it's a very tempting offer.
It is actually really frightening because when you're looking at these guys early on, like a Jordan Tyson, he's the archetype that gets you chopped, right? He is super exciting, super volatile. He's going to have an uncertain role to start the season, and like, he's probably going to get 5 to 7 targets in week 1, and you're like, do you really want to roll with that guy? But if you want a guy like him, or the third guy who I would say in there, when you talk about wide receivers, is probably Mekhi Lemon. I don't know what you guys have any thoughts on Mekhi Lemon?
I mean, he was good at USC last year. I mean, over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, and he looks like a guy who can play professional football in the NFL and be pretty good. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't quite. I don't know if he's got the move up mojo reputation to go up the draft board high enough. But then again, some teams really like what they like, and if you like Lemon and you're a GM, I've seen. I mean, how many times have you seen guys go a half round or a full round earlier than what you thought?
Right.
And if they do that, just the fact that he gets drafted higher by somebody may also make guillotine owners like, oh, you may be really valuable on this team.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case.
Right.
And it hardly ever is. So just kind of beware. There needs to be a bunch of beware signs all over these picks.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, everybody that's done one of these mock drafts is assuming they know how 32 different GMs are thinking.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Turns out you don't. Nobody does. Which is why the draft night is, so fun.
That's why it's so fun. You're going to get some crazy ass GM. It's like, I want to trade half my team for this dude or whatever.
And all the announcers that think they got it all figured out are like, ooh, they did go with.
What are they
They
doing?
did go with Tate at pick 4. I
Right.
thought they might do that.
Yeah.
You're like,
Totally.
no, you didn't.
Totally.
Yeah, you had no idea. You just watched draft day like we did, and Kevin Costner made a bunch of weird moves. And now
That's
you
right.
Yeah, you got excited. And
That's right. So I think those 3 wide receivers are worth being on your. When I look at my rookie list of draftable wide receivers, I have 3 more on top of that. But these are all guys that I would get late. Okay,
Yep.
Late.
They're literally not your top 8 picks.
So Carnell Tate and Mekhi Lemon and Jordan Tyson, those are guys that I think could be starters, but you just need to be real careful. Obviously, the one that we feel best about is Carnell Tate.
Yes.
When you get to these other guys, they're probably late stash guys, but Casey Concepcion is a guy who is ranked pretty high. He comes out of A&M.
Omar Cooper Jr.
Lot of production. Omar Cooper Jr. supposed to be a day 2 pick probably, but he's probably going to be a waiver wire guy for you, honestly, because he's probably going to be a wide receiver 3, and if that's the case, you probably don't want to draft him in Guillotine. Then Denzel Boston.
Yep, out of Washington.
I like him, and I'm seeing projected. Some people even have him reaching all the way up to first round. Yep. But I don't think I've drafted him. I'll be honest. From a Guillotine standpoint, I don't know that he's probably, unless you got a deep bench, I don't think he's probably it. So, it does kind of put things in perspective when you look at what's out there. There's not a lot you should be super targeting in those 2 positions, I would say.
Yeah. Ends with a key clarification there.
Right, with those 2 positions. But before we move off of that one, let's finish out the running backs.
Okay.
Anybody else you guys see from a running back standpoint that you think you keep your eye on?
The one that stands out to me just because of the combine. So Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas ran a 4.3340, which I believe was the fastest time for a running back.
I think you're right.
But he was if not, he was right up there. But that guy, again, SEC player, really good, 6.4 average carry. I think that's probably the only other running back that stands out. I mean, there's going to be some other gems that slip through. There always is. And 3rd, 4th, 5th round guys oh, that's a pretty good opportunity. Wow, that guy's actually better than I thought. I didn't know he just twisted his ankle in week 6, and that's why he fell 2 rounds.
Right.
So there's going to be other dudes like that. But for the early round picks, I think Mike Washington Jr. is the other guy I like, at least to see where he's going to fall, see what situation he gets into.
Yeah. I was going to add that clarification is that all these guys are, generally speaking, phenomenal athletes.
Of course.
It almost always comes down to opportunity. And
it's all role and where you if you got the right place, right time, baby.
You get an incredible athlete that happens to mesh right into an offense that needs an incredible athlete in that position, then great things can happen. But a lot of this is pretty speculative until we actually have the draft and see where these guys land.
That's right. I'll tell you a couple guys I like at running back. Not nearly like I like Jeremiah Love, but I would keep my eye on, depending on where they fall, Jonah Coleman. So he's a running back from Washington. Really like him. He's consistently listed top 5 rookie running back. But it depends on where he goes. So it depends on where he's going to fall in that depth chart.
Recurring theme.
And then this is a little bit of homer in me, but I think there is some legitimacy to it. The guy who was the 1-2 punch with Jeremiah Love is a guy named Jadarian Price. Yep. And I watched every single Notre Dame game that these guys played in. And I'll tell you, Jeremiah Love is definitely the more consistent back. Jadarian Price has a ridiculous burst to him. He was using kickoff returns a lot. In terms of big plays, he may actually be a bigger big play threat than Love. He's not as good of an every down back as Love, but I think if he goes to the right spot, he could really take the one from somebody pretty quickly. So I'd keep my eye on him too. And then the last guy is Emmett Johnson. He's a guy who I think consistently gets ranked in that kind of top 5. But he's
probably be a little later though, right?
Yeah,
he's third round.
He's a little bit later, and I think he'll probably start out as like the third down passing back kind of guy. So you're not going to draft him, but I would keep tabs on him as the season goes because he could work into a bigger role too. But there's not a lot of home runs, guys. Not a whole lot of home runs. Everybody gets excited about the rookies.
But what about the first pick overall, Chiz? Fernando Mendoza.
Wow,
what a great situation with a lot of volume.
Situation.
And Brock Bowers to throw to, and Ashton Genty to hand off to. and no line and no defense.
Let me just tell you.
Great.
If you
way to talk him up, Dex.
unless you are in a league that like
rewards interceptions,
only allows you to draft quarterbacks outside the top 15. I know he's the number 1 overall pick,
then he should not be 1st or 10th even on that list. But.
No, I love the kid. I think he's a great personality. I think he's a great team guy. I think he's going to be a good leader. Man, do not fall into this trap. Don't do it. I know he's the number 1 overall pick. Everyone's going to be super hyped about, oh, he's the number 1 overall pick. He's the Raiders, whatever. Like, remember, the number 1 overall pick is going to the worst team.
Yeah.
They're going to the worst team. And Cam Ward is like 3 times the athlete.
I was going to say, like, if Cam Ward was in this draft, he'd go first again.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's another, Jackson Dart would go first. And
yes.
Look how late he went. He is super good. This just isn't a quarterback draft. It's not an offensive draft. Like we said at the beginning, if you're an edge rusher, man, your team's going to – if you get the 9th best guy, you've got a really, really, really good defensive player.
That's right.
But this year, if you have the 9th quarterback or the 9th running back, 9th wideout, man, fill in the plate. Even last year, we had a bunch of tight ends coming out. And right now, there's only one tight end even that gets mentioned. And it's because he had he's good at stats. Like Kenny Sadiq for Oregon. You know what I mean, though?
It's
like
totally true.
He runs fast, can jump high, he can do all the things, but
Combine warriors, baby. Combine kings. That's the
Vernon
thing.
Davis. I recall him not really okay.
Totally.
I mean, Kyle Pitts looks the part.
Yeah.
Had 2 good years out of 5.
Right.
And 1 was his rookie year. I got to give you that.
That's
but
true.
Kenny Sadiq, depends on where he goes. There's a lot of talk. People love it. He's getting momentum. Can he slide in the first round? He probably will. I don't know. He's the best tight end.
I think he'll probably go in the first round, but man, he's to your point.
Else around him.
To your point, he's the tight end 1 of the class, but I mean, I'd only draft him if he's like an absurd value at the point, like because there's a lot of good tight ends. There's a lot of like solid, gonna get you 7, 8 point tight ends.
Yes,
right? You know that's gonna happen. So.
It's such a dynamic position too. It's
absolutely
hard to rely on. It's hard to add more dynamics to that situation by taking a rookie that's unproven.
That's exactly right, Prue. And so, like, don't get excited about Mendoza. Wait for somebody else to draft him. Let him get cut. Stash him on your bench if you really like him, and he could be your QB2. And maybe he develops to be something we don't expect. And the other guy, don't, Ty Simpson. Don't do it. Okay?
But he looks so athletic for Alabama, and once he figured it out and got the start, he looked really good. Chisholm, you don't know anything. SEC king.
Do not do it.
There's a reason that nobody takes in guillotine football. There's a reason that nobody takes Cam Ward.
That's right.
Bryce Young
at all,
and Mendoza.
Yes.
And, fill in the blank. There's a long line of people that are drafted.
All these guys are number 1 overall picks because they're going, and it's because they go to the worst teams that they don't. They're not ready to step in and be fantasy studs yet. So
that's right.
Give them some time to develop and all that.
Right.
For the same. So, but he ended up being pretty decent the last month of the season, and that's fine. And then Jackson Dart was pretty good in the middle.
Came along faster than many.
Yeah, he did.
Guys still don't get it. But.
Honestly, faster than I thought he would. But, you know, I think moral of the story is watch these guys because they're good athletes. To prove the point, like all these guys were studs in college, but there's a reason why there's not projected to be a lot of offensive players taken the first round of this draft. And it's because across the board, the GMs are like, this is a weak offensive player draft. If the GMs are saying that, it's really unlikely that any of these guys are going to become like superstars out of the gate. There's a reason why Jeremiah Love is like consensus number 1. He's going to be...
He's probably the top talent in the draft. He just won't go top overall.
He probably is the top talent in the draft, and especially from a guillotine fantasy, he's probably your number 1 target.
Totally.
Outside of that, you know, Tate Lemon, maybe
So in your from a Guillotine perspective, you're saying you said Love and Tate maybe first round, probably first round.
I don't know about Tate first round, but Chisholm's saying he could see him going there. I agree with I could see him going there. I think he's probably more of a second, maybe even third.
It might be a third round. I agree.
That's where I was
Love,
going. Is
zero chance no matter what team. Well, I can't say that, but high percentage chance he'll be one of the first 18 picks off the board in Guillotine.
I think he will be in the. I would be shocked if he is not in the first round of a Guillotine draft, given how hard it is to find a bell horse cow running back.
That's right.
Yes.
That can catch and run.
That's right.
Explosive as all get out. I mean, 6.9 average.
Right.
So the Tates and Tysons and those guys, your tier 2 wide receivers that you mentioned, are those second rounders, late second rounders?
I really don't think they are.
In a Guillotine,
these are like fourth or fifth round, I think, probably for those guys.
I hate to say it, but I think if you want to win your league, you're not drafting them.
Yeah,
because they won't be there by the time you would want to take them for the value.
Right.
So I think Dex is right. They're probably guys that should be targeted like 4th, 5th round.
But they'll go faster
But somebody gonna jump. Yep. Somebody gonna jump.
They like the shiny toys.
Yes.
It's like it's the first guy that takes the tight end, and then the tight end run happens, right? That's what always happens. Yeah. Somebody's like, who's going to do it first? Who's going to do it for Brock Powers? Then all of a sudden, like 8 tight ends go. And it's like I think that as soon as somebody gets froggy with one of these rookies, then it's going to be like, I got to get my hand on a shiny new toy.
You got, some, like most people don't know better, so they're going to rank all 3 side by side in their list. And as soon as the first one goes, they're going to be like, ooh, I got to grab one of the other 2.
Yeah, like Alec Pierce. It's going to be one of those, like you have Alec Pierce who isn't sexy, but he's really good. But you're like, oh, but Carnell Tate. Oh, man, Lemon could be good. I mean, Pierce is so boring. I don't want to have Alec Pierce on my team. What am I going to give Alec Pierce?
That's so what happens right there. Is
just
you
any
just
of
see
these
this
things. Just down the list. Jordan Addison. Oh, but he's second to Jefferson. He's just a
Jordan Addison.
This guy, Lemon. God, you see him in that second preseason game when he took it to the house for 42 yards? One play is going to make you draft him.
It's my let's make a deal analogy. 90% of the people take what is behind the curtain. They have $500 in their hand. They got Jordan Addison in their hand, and they're like, "Ooh, I got my $500." Or you can trade it for
number 2.
Door number 2.
I want the box. I want the box.
Give me the box.
It's just a lottery ticket. I know. It's a scratch off.
And then you end up with wide receiver 6 on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and
that's I would say. So, like, if we bring this whole discussion back into a Guillotine fantasy football perspective, right? A lot of managers try to win the league week 1.
Yes.
By drafting the shiny new toy, thinking that they're going to strike gold, and that is the opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a losing strategy.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the takeaway.
And remember, Guillotine formats, early season consistency is more valuable than theoretical upside.
Yes.
That's what you got to remember. If you do that, you're going to be fine. That's what you need to do. The only way you want a rookie is if you know he's getting immediate touches, and you're not going to have to sweat the first week being like, oh, I hope he worked into the game plan.
Right.
No, but let us all recall Travion Henderson last year, the other first-round pick that went because you had a fat, worthless veteran like
Rafumble Stevenson.
Hey, is Stevenson going to outperform Travion? Did you see him in the preseason? And what happened? That's right. You got chopped.
Just handed it to Rafumble over and over again.
Rafumble. Just 20 carries, 8 fumbles, 15 yards.
So just like you can't predict what 32 GMs are thinking, you also can't predict what 32 offensive coordinators are thinking.
That's exactly right, Brew. Yep. You never know.
They need their running back to be able to block the pass rush. And
That's
the
right.
NFL is different from college, no matter how good that college program is.
That's exactly
they never
right.
faced all number one picks coming at them.
That's part of what they love about Jeremiah Love, no pun intended, is the fact that he is a pass ready or a pass blocking ready NFL back. And so they're like, I can leave him in there all 3 downs.
Yeah.
I don't need to pull him when it comes to third down passing.
Which opens up your offense tremendously.
It does.
Totally. And he can receive the ball really well, too. He's got good hands. So, like, you don't find a lot of those guys that are going to be in day one. Don't hurt yourself. You gotta hold your water here. It's super hard, but hold your water.
Well, if you can get Jeremiah Love in the second round, maybe we do it. All right, so I think that's going to wrap us up for our NFL preview for a Guillotine fantasy football focus, because that's what we do here at the Shrewdness. So keep staying in touch with us. We'll do another episode next week and talk all about the situations, all of our caveats this week. We're like, well, depends on where they go and what's happening. We will know where they land.
Can't wait. We will know next week.
It'll be awesome. And then we'll kind of really go in and say who we're excited about. If they land in a great spot, maybe it'll tweak what we just said tonight. I mean, it's not going to say take them all in the first round. That's going to stay solid.
And who knows? Maybe this time next year, Dex, the NFL may invite us to the draft to do it live, so we could, live broadcast from the draft.
Because they need guillotine focus as we get drafted. They need to know, is this a guillotine-worthy player?
Absolutely.
We will have those answers for you. All right. Well, thank you, Shrewdness, for tuning in. We're going to have probably another episode this week on some baseball, so check that out. But next week, we'll be doing our NFL draft recap, where everybody landed. So enjoy the draft. It's going to be a great time. Hope your team gets the players you want. Probably defense, because that's what's in this year's draft. But in the meantime, stay shrewd.